You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. Oh, tired Cappy. We got a question. Good evening, Aaron. I've been thinking about retiring to Las Vegas in 5 years. Could you provide a consult about the pros and cons? Since Las Vegas real estate values are crazy now. Yeah, crazy by comparison by who? Like in California, people in California can't believe that there's a place that has affordable housing. So compared to LA or Southern California in general, people are excited about Las Vegas property. And last time I was there and checked it, Las Vegas property prices were quite reasonable compared to the rest of the country. Of course, it could crash again like it did 10, 15 years ago. But I'm thinking about living in a 55-plus apartment community. The OSHER program at UNLV looks good, and Nevada seniors 62-plus get to audit UNLV classes for free, pending space availability. Okay, audit, but you don't get the why? Okay, at that age, why would you go to classes? Why would you even waste your time at the university? Why? You're not getting credit. You might as well take the classes online or for credit, or just study the stuff for free online and consume it via podcast, which is probably better than what teachers and professors can teach. And you don't have the inconvenience of going down to UNLV, which, by the way, is a crap hole. It's in a bad part of town. Not the worst part of town, but a bad part of town. But hey, if you want to sit there and go to more school, there's an entire adult playground all around. I was even thinking about teaching math or science in high school for a few years, though the admin would probably toss me out for not endorsing their leftist ideology. Well, if you just if you kept it on the down low and you don't have a public profile of being a right winger, they should probably let you in. I know how you love boomers, although I identify more as Gen X. Well, yeah, you're not. Well, you're right on the cusp there. We hope one of the last boomers born 1964 retire and come for. You paid me. I will help you. How much to make a video consult? All right. So, well, what kind of lifestyle are you looking for? UNLV is in a dumpy / bad part of town. Plus, there are a lot of other nice places in the Vegas area that aren't Vegas. Ba-da-ba. Paid $50 for video. Thank you for the extra money. I should have had that I'm single, no kids. I expect to have $1 million in a 401k, $40,000 a year pension. Paid off house worth $300,000 when I retire. You should be able to find an okay house like that. Although 5 years from now, who knows what $300,000 will get you? If and when you go to Vegas, a condo, you probably get some. I want to retire to a no income tax state, so I may withdraw most of my 401k funds at less than the 30% tax rate before taking Social Security at 67 or 70. I'll probably convert most to a Roth IRA. I was thinking, well, be prepared to pay the taxes on that when you do the conversion. I was thinking about living in the Summerlin or Henderson areas, although the Gramercy Park apartments on Tropicana are highly rated and relatively inexpensive. I'd have to take a look and see where those are. If real estate crashes again, I'll probably buy a small house in an upscale 55-plus community. Assisted living looks relatively inexpensive in Las Vegas for when my health declines. Well, wait till you get to you're like, I'm going to lose my spleen. And I need to be an assisted. How about you? Why don't you get in? Okay, number one thing, regardless of what I'm going to recommend later, I am going to recommend that you start spending time in Vegas now to figure out where. I mean, because I could tell you, Summerlin's really nice if you could afford it. I like Henderson. South of Henderson, it's Anthem. That's more of an older, richer community as well. But come out to Vegas and drive around and figure out where you might like. Look, everyone would like to live in Summerlin. Right? Everyone would. But there's other cheaper places. But let's wait for your health to decline before you just assume it does and start banking on it. All right. For my profile picture, you can see that I'm a fat bastard. I have type 2 diabetes. Oh, all right. So how about we not be fat? I will need decent medical care. Living to 70 is probably optimistic for me, although both my parents are still alive and in their 80s. Neither of them have diabetes, however. I switched to a low-carb diet about 6 weeks ago, which I highly recommend with good results in terms of blood sugar levels. I may be able to get them down to normal range as soon as I lose a lot of weight. To get some exercise, I may take up golf. I also like tennis. My passion is Formula One. No, that's not a sport. It's a sport for the race car drivers, but not the spectators. So I'm interested in taking competitive driving lessons and participating in amateur races, assuming I can get my weight down. McCarran also seems like a good airport for travel. Well, it's your only airport for travel. And it's dirt cheap because there's so much volume coming in and out of Vegas. I have family in Southern California, so I like to keep as close as possible to them without paying California taxes. Moving to California after withdrawing from my 401k is a possibility. Boo. All right. This is general for everybody. Okay. And this is whether you're on the precipice of retiring or not. It's on the precipice of whether you're about to have a leg amputated or not. All right. Just leave that until the point in time it comes. All right. If you made lots of bank and you like golf and you could afford it, Summerlin is probably the best neighborhood in the Las Vegas area. All right. I'm familiar with it because the Red Rock Casino, or not Red Rock Casino, well, the Red Rock Casino is out there too. The Red Rock Canyon is out there. That's where motorcycling is, and you're on your way out to Pahrump if you take the scenic route. There's some good hiking out there. Also, a fair amount of good golf courses. But aside from that, assuming you don't have the money, which I'm going to assume you don't, if you only got $300,000 house, you don't want to have a mortgage. You are going to want to avoid, start with what you want to avoid. You want to avoid the north side, the immediate north side of Las Vegas. And that would run all the way from Highway 95, which is to the northeast, all the way over almost to the mountains, where I believe it's Frenchman Peak. Okay. Especially Alphabet City, look it up. But that entire northern quadrant you want to avoid. Now, if you get far enough north, like your equilateral to Nellis Air Force Base, that north side of Vegas is all right. But definitely the north, I'm sorry, my mistake. I'm confusing. From northwest on Highway 95 all the way to the east, you kind of want to avoid that. But the part you really want to avoid is the immediate north and to the northeast of Vegas and a little bit direct east, like Sam's Town area, that quadrant, that 90 degrees, that northeast quadrant of immediate Vegas, you are going to want to avoid. All right, from that all the way up to the airports. That's where you don't go. Now, other places. Actually, let me pull it up so I'm not just going off of memory. Let's do Las Vegas. Because, like, I know Sloan, South Vegas, parts of Paradise. Yeah. All right. So Henderson, I like Henderson. Henderson's fine. Enterprise, that's a nice up and coming area. That entire south, east, everything west. I keep getting east and west confused. Anything pretty much west is good. Even the immediate part, like on the immediate west side of the interstate, it's not the best, but it ain't the worst. All right. On the east side of the interstate is the Strip, and immediately to the east of the Strip, there's a bunch of condos and apartment living. That's kind of this nice narrow band that if you just want to live in a condo, that'd be all right. But then if you go a little bit further east to Maryland Avenue, is it? There's Paradise Road. This is just for me taking the bus. Yeah, Maryland Parkway. You get too far east off of Las Vegas Boulevard and Paradise Road, it starts to get janky, if that's a word. Someone used it as janky. And that runs up to Charleston, north of Charleston, which is 159. The downtown Las Vegas area, that's having a bit of a rejuvenation. But yeah, that immediate east of the Strip by a significant amount, if it's not a condo, it's not an apartment building, you don't want to be there. Paradise, that's okay. South of, is that Sahara? No, Tropicana. Then it's not bad. Whitney Ranch, these are the neighborhoods. There's something green something. Green Valley South, that's an okay neighborhood. Silverado Ranch, not bad. There's Anthem, not Atham, not to be confused with Atham. A really nice area is Green Valley Ranch and McCullough Hills, that West Horizon Ridge Parkway. Lots of nice apartments on there. You got beautiful views. It's kind of being built up into the hills. Henderson is all right. I like Henderson. It's an upper blue collar neighborhood, I'd say. Royal Highlands. There's another one. That's kind of one of the last neighborhoods on your way out down to Los Angeles. Enterprise is good. Highway 160 all the way out. Spring Valley's okay, and yeah, anything west is pretty good. But the further west, once you get to the 215, you go west of the 215 in Summerlin, you do. That's where the rich people live. Another place you may want to consider is Highway 157 and Highway 95. That is being built out. Beforehand, there was nothing there. And that's where people go to Charleston Peak, and they do their skiing and whatnot and hiking and all that. But that exit, you could tell they're just preparing for that to be residential commercial. And so that's far flung enough away. That's all right. Anything along the 215 bypass all the way to Highway 15, Interstate 15 is good. It's just that east, northeast, and direct north of Vegas that you got to avoid. All right. So that's okay. Now you wanted, what was it? The something neighborhood, the something development. Boomers. Where the heck did that apartment complex? Gramercy Park Apartments. Let's see where this is. Where is it? Senior living. Gramercy Senior Apartments. If it's gated and locked, yeah, it's not bad. That's still not a nice area of town. It's not bad. I would definitely go and check it out though. Where's Maryland? There's Paradise. Yeah, you may want to check out that area first before you put down a deposit. I thought it was a little bit more east. All right. So we have that. No, I closed it. Darn it. Let's talk about Boulder City and Pahrump. If you're retired or your retirement age, but I would say this, if anything, people who live in Vegas do not go to the Strip. They might go there for work. They might occasionally go there, but everyone avoids the Strip. That's where the tourists go or where you go to work. And what people got to realize is there's most of the fun stuff outside of gambling is to do off Strip. All right. So you don't have to live in Vegas proper. If your main goal is income taxes, there are other places in Vegas and Nevada in general that you can live. All right. Boulder City is one of them. You still are only half an hour away out of Vegas, but it's its own separate town. It's more retirement. It's older. Prices are cheaper. There's enough going on in Boulder that if you don't want to go to Vegas, that's a retirement community. I'd recommend you do that. If you want to be left alone, then I go to Pahrump. Now that's a little bit further out than Vegas, an hour, 10 minutes out of Vegas. And this would assume you don't want to go to Vegas or anything like that, but that's a lot cheaper. You're left alone, not that much crime compared to Vegas, and certainly nowhere near the amount of traffic. It's completely on the other side of the state, but if, again, you just want the low taxes, but you're not wedded to Las Vegas, what about Reno, Silver City, Carson City, Virginia? I would check out those other towns, or not Mesquite. What is the one? Oh, yeah. If you live on the Nevada side of Mesquite, that might be a place you might want to consider. All right. So when you come out, you're going to have to do some touring and reconnoitering Las Vegas anyway. While you're in there, why don't you go and check out all those different little towns I just mentioned there and see that? Because there's more to Nevada than Vegas, and there's more to Vegas than just Vegas itself. You could live on one of these outskirt towns, make your weekend trip to Vegas. You want to do that. Now, as for general pros and cons of Vegas, whether you're retiring there or not, let me pull up your request. Pull that up there. All right, couple things. The pros. Major metro area, probably the best major metro area in the United States. You can have everything you want 24/7. I love it. All right. If I'm hungry at 3 a.m., I can get sushi. People are awake. And even though I'm somewhat of a a misanthrope. It is nice to be like in Minnesota. If you're up at 3 a.m., there ain't nobody around. So it's kind of depressing and sad. Vegas, you can go to any place. There's 24 and there's people there, right? You'll get your itch, you get your scratch of getting your gambling out of the way. But if you're a gambling man, there are plenty of off-strip casinos that now kind of double as the malls. So there's bowling alleys, good restaurants, things like that. Oh, by the way, I'd also strongly recommend you tune into Tipping the Odds podcast with Mitch and Kevin. I would binge on them because they're more your age, old as hell. But they talk about the different restaurants and where to go and the different Las Vegas events going on. They got their finger on the pulse a little bit more, so check that out. But there's some off-strip casinos and they serve as somewhat social activity functions as well. So you got that. Then you're out of weight. You want to lose weight? Oh, I go for walks and maybe I play tennis. All right. How about you get into some serious hiking? All right. Get that blood flowing, which I hear is a problem with diabetes. There's some amazing hiking. My favorite is Black Mountain. But also I'm fortunate enough to be in Henderson where I am on the southeast corner and I just hop over to the Boulder Dam area where there's Arizona Hot Springs and then there's also the Golden Spike Trail, neither of which I'm recommending you do if you're that overweight. But if you started golfing and then you started walking, you're in probably the best quadrant of Vegas to be in for some local hiking. You'd have to go all the way to the other side to the Red Rock Canyon area, which is actually quite an extensive amount of trails out there, a lot of which are free. But you're probably in the best beginner hikes and some more serious hikes and some very pretty hikes. It's the Sloan Canyon National Conservation Area. There's some golf courses that are really good. Don't do, I think it's Black Horse, or Black Mountain. Don't do that one. If it's got black in the name, don't do it because their greens are brown. Just the way I could tell where my ball hit was the puff of dust, but would roll because there was no give to the there was no grass. It was just hitting concrete. And then you can get into boating because you have Lake Mead out there. But I'd also strongly recommend motorcycle riding. And that's probably the best part. Those are the best things of Nevada. You can also go on road trips that I'd strongly recommend that. That's another great thing about Vegas, a pro, is that the Grand Canyon's not far away. Arizona's not far. Phoenix is there. Flagstaff. Utah is only 2 hours away. Zion National Park. All this, you're near your folks. If you got to drive to Southern California, don't do it on the weekend. And then also McCarran International is another great advantage because everybody flies in and out. And flights are cheap, dirt cheap, especially if you're willing to fly the official airlines of the Cappy Cap world, Spirit Airlines, which is the locker room of the air. So, and then, yeah, man, that's about it. I mean, that's kind of the Death Valley is kind of cool. Don't do it in summer. Yeah, and I don't know, I just like it. I like it a lot. So, and I guess it's not a pro for me, but if you like shows and theaters, obviously that's the place to go. What else? I don't know. So there's that. All right. Cons. Traffic is getting worse. Housing prices are going up, but they're not as expensive as California. And it's going left. There was it Sisolak, the governor. I mean, he's he doesn't care about the I'm wondering if the casinos are going to we cannot have a Democrat again shutting us down like this. Because I know several people quit, left Vegas. You cannot choke off Sin City with mandates and the Lambda variant or whatever we're going to have 10 years from now. But it is going left. Why? People from California moving in, immigrants, legal or not, are moving in. And let's just admit the native population, the younger people are, the dumber they are. You've all been brainwashed and programmed to vote Democrat because, sure, let's try socialism once again, see how that works. So right now they don't have a state income tax. Be prepared to move if they do institute a state income tax, right? But the income tax is almost going to be, that'd be like the last straw. Expect more government's fist up your ass. even though you're in wild and crazy Vegas, anything goes as long as the government says so. So I'm kind of paying attention to politics on a statewide level as to whether or not, okay, I'm pretty much ensconced in South Dakota, but Vegas is kind of like, do I want to keep on going down there? I probably will to visit for fun. Thankfully, I don't own the Southern Command, but that's there. The schools suck. That's not germane to you, but other people might want to know the schools, but you shouldn't be sending your kids to public school anyway. You should actually love your kids and homeschool them with the infinite amount of information on the internet. And then I would say the crime is getting not worse. It's not really the crime. It's just the quality and caliber of people in Vegas are getting worse. I mean, that's every major city, more and more parasites as we breed more and more people who don't want to work, and woe is us. There's panhandlers, not so much on the Strip, but that North Vegas area. And it's what you got to worry about is kind of depending on where you're, like Henderson, I got to worry about people northwest slowly migrating down to the southeast. Summerlin, even they got to worry about, are they going to jump the 95? If you were thinking of Summerlin or the West Side in general. It's not bad now. It's actually quite good. I very much enjoy Vegas, and I would call it a safe major city. But like any other major metro, it's going to pot. And soon there'll be like maybe enclaves where maybe the cops are around. But as the overall population in the United States just decays, don't expect there to be a lot of nice places left in any major metropolitan area. And so, especially if you're old and impaired or frail and rely on healthcare, I'd be looking more like Boulder City or Pahrump and not Nevada, because like, okay, I got to live in this crappy assisted living place and people are getting shot. We got Gates. And then the hospital down the road has a bunch of young people who are brainwashed to hate you. I don't know your race, but if you're an old white man, you're not going to be popular in the nursing homes in about 25 years. They're going to think you're the enemy and that you oppressed their great-great-grandfathers. And then maybe your bedpan doesn't get changed, or maybe they forget to give you your meds. So that you may want to think somewhere else for your dwindling, like your sunset years. Now, your retirement years, I think Vegas would be good for your health, especially if you get out there and golf and get some exercise. But I would not be in a major metropolitan senior living area. Okay, a senior apartment, yes. But assisted living where I got to rely, my health is now controlled by people who've been brainwashed to hate me because of the color of my skin and because I'm a peen-eyed person. No, thank you. Not going to happen. What are the other cons? There's not much. That's why I kind of like Vegas. Doesn't have that many cons beyond. I mean, it's got the regular cons of a big metro, but the pros outweigh it significantly. I very much like Vegas. All right, there we go. Super chats. Jeremiah, hey Jerry, how you doing? Keep up the good. Well, thanks, Jeremiah. I met Jeremiah for a cigar over in the Black Hills. Joseph Jones, our dapperly dressed gentleman agent in the field. $2. Your best productivity tips for students in STEM. Well, you majored in STEM. That was my best productivity tips. If you're studying, as you always understand, I'd say double dip. So work security, so you could study while you're getting paid or some kind of other job like that. Don't put women at the center of your life. Focus on your career. Certainly ask out girls. If there's a cute girl, ask her out, but don't waste your time. Do reconnaissance early so you know where you want to live. Don't drink. Don't do drugs. Hey, kids, don't drink and don't. Drugs are for losers, but and I guess it wouldn't even be productivity, but psychology. You're not missing out on anything. I mean, go have your fun, go travel, hike Zion, go to bars, learn dance, do whatever you want. Go do fun for fun's sake, but you're not missing out not going to a nightclub. That girl stood you up. You didn't miss out on anything. Like, if you don't put girls at the center of you, you're not missing out on anything. Yeah, focus on you and, what about Vegas girls, Aaron? The problem is they're all migratory. It's tourists. The locals are generally hot if they're wait staffs because they have to be. A lot of gals come in from California. Lots of single moms. Lots of single moms. I don't know if you really necessarily want to date them, but there's plenty to go around. But prostitution is legal in Pahrump and other counties. I think it's legal up north where Rollo lives as well. So I guess you got that. But I mean, it's seeking arrangement. And yeah, okay, prostitution is illegal in Las Vegas or Clark County, but you know, that is there's so many, Stevie Wonder couldn't turn enough blind eyes, as much blind eyes as the cops have turned towards prostitution in Vegas. I'm just saying it's illegal. You could get arrested. So, but I don't know. I haven't dated girls in Vegas. And if I have, it's been so long, I forgot we're from Vegas. Dave, $5. Think about moving to Henderson from Chandler, Arizona. I like Henderson a lot. Chandler's a nice. What's wrong with Arizona, though? I mean, is it too hot down there? I can understand. I crashed at an apartment on Ocotillo Drive. I'm very familiar with Chandler. Fujin Ryu. New guy, I presume Japanese. $5 was in Vegas last week versus 2 years ago. More vagrants on the strip around the drugstores and anywhere else. Security wouldn't chase them away. Yep. James Saberwolf, $5. What is Cappy's beer of choice? Sam Adams Light, which I don't think they make anymore. I haven't seen that in years. But if I had to drink a beer, that was my favorite beer. Still is my favorite beer. All right, that's it. There you go. Okay, questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.